Hello.
Hello.
We're live.
That's the best. Grow as you
We're
go.
live, baby. Um, before we hit record, you were talking about wanting to, well, you were asking me questions about AI, and we were kind of sharing thoughts and opinions on how we could share our current knowledge of AI with other people so that they can take that and help themselves. So, what was your, for the audience that are watching this, what was your question that you asked me to spark this?
Yeah, as you said, I see AI can be the leverage for humanity to get on another level, especially on the consciousness level that we are talking about, consciousness level. And so I know you have a special ability to focus and to dig deep into a topic and then freaking nail it and manage it and make it function. And I asked you like, what did you do so far, and what is working? How are you like right now using AI already and being so productive in cloning yourself? Because I know you are building, you are constructing so much, and that is impressive.
Yes. Well, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate that. It's funny that you say clone because on my other screen right now, yesterday I was working on my AI clone. So I'm doing all these things with AI. It's great, and it's a constant learning process. By the way, I am I am barely scratching the fucking surface with this stuff. I am every single day I'm learning something new.
But
And I
you are,
started from scratch.
maybe you are just one step ahead of someone and can help someone here. That is my idea.
Oh yes. And we're all like that in something.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be. We're all like that all the time. Um so I totally agree with you that I can definitely help somebody out there. So, to kind of just give you a base kind of overview of what I got going on. So, Grow As You Go is my personal development business, coaching business. Really, it's a spiritual business. And when I say spirituality, I mean relationship with self, capital self. Self to me, I personally define as pure energy, consciousness, God, infinity, the universe, whatever word you want to use to describe pure energy. And so I'm currently building an app for this. Here, let's see if I can give you guys a peek at it. Actually, um, I have a uh, beta version here on my phone. Here it is. So this is a beta version on my phone. I use this for tests, to user experience UI, changes to the UI, right? So it's got a feed, right? It's got like the first thing you see when you open it is gratitude. What are you grateful for? First thing, to try and instill that muscle of being grateful, right? Train your brain to be more grateful. Which I do this every day, all the day. Like, look at this. This is great. This basically, I'm packaging everything that I do for myself into something that other people can use, if they want. So I have a list, things I'm grateful for list that I started a couple years ago, and I've been filling it in, for a couple years, and I'm at 630 things. And so, and the great thing with gratitude is it's not the thing per se. Sure, you could be grateful for the sky, you could be grateful for your dogs, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your phone, nouns, things. But what I learned through this is training the mind to notice gratitude for a specific moment. So, for example, the very last thing that I wrote in this, which was yesterday, the feeling of freedom, specifically right now, triggered by the circumstance of me being one day away from my final day of work at my unit. I've reached the state where I have fully accepted and let go of commitment. I am no longer committed to or attached to working here at this unit because it's my last day. I am no longer afraid of any repercussions or outcomes or side effects of my behavior, whether I do things or not do things. Therefore, I feel free to do whatever I want. Basically, it's the sensation that we feel when we are moving on from one thing to the next. You know, like from one job to the next job, which is what I'm doing, right? I'm literally in a transition state. Anyway, I digress. Gratitude is great. So you start off with gratitude, right? And then you go into the social feed. So then people can start making posts about whatever they want. Freedom of speech, baby. And so the app, it's got a bunch of other stuff. I don't want to spend too much time revealing everything. But it's got a bunch of stuff. So it's a social app. It's another social app. However, it focuses on spiritual growth, spiritual relationship, deepening our relationship with ourselves. And it uses social feeds, post video, text, pictures, communities, online groups, or even groups locally. As it expands and grows, it'll eventually get into local communities. Metrics. So for tracking your progress, let's say you're tracking fitness and you've got a workout plan. Track your workouts, your reps, your sets, your weight. Not just the weight of the actual equipment, but your personal health metrics. Blood pressure, resting heart rate, sleep quality, the nutrition that you're feeding yourself, carbs, fats, protein, basically anything that you can think of that you might want to track for your own personal growth, your own spiritual deepening, you could track it. And you could take those metrics, and then it will spit out an analysis, or at least help you analyze your progress. So, for example, let's say you have a month's worth of data. Oh, and by the way, all of this data, this personal progress data, you can export and load onto your personal computer. So you can then use that data however you see fit as well. But the app will have an inherent analysis tool, which is basically an API to an AI. I'll talk about APIs in a minute. But basically, an API is a call out to another AI that will actually give you an analysis on your progress. So it is a one-stop shop for spiritual growth. Mind, body, and spirit. I mean, you don't have to focus on spirit. If you want to track your mind progress, great. If you want to track your body progress, great. I mean, I encourage all of the pillars, and there's another pillar of service, contribution, which is an integral part of the app to encourage and empower people to not only serve themselves but serve other people in the process. So there will be, for example, point systems, so you can get certain perks or access to tools or events if you've contributed a certain amount to your local community or just people around. And getting involved, these types of things. So it's a one-stop shop for people to expand their consciousness. It is literally everything that you could possibly desire to help you expand consciousness. And when I say expand consciousness, I just simply mean awareness of self. And again, self being pure energy, which is all of reality. And the more we are aware of that, the more we expand consciousness. So the app is for that specifically. Now, I am not a coder. Kind of going back, tying all that, now that we have like a framework of what I'm doing, now we tie it back to the question. So I am not a coder at all. I've never coded anything. Maybe a line at one point because I was next to somebody that was doing it. But I am not. I don't identify as a coder. I don't intend to ever identify as a coder. That's not my intention. However, Codex is a fantastic coder, and I am using Codex almost exclusively. If you're watching this and you're unfamiliar with what Codex is the coding tool built by OpenAI. So it's ChatGPT's in-house coder. And on my desktop, I have the app. It's a desktop app that I downloaded, and I use that from OpenAI. And I call that my main coder. That's like my top authority coder. As when I started this, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't go out and maybe I watched a couple YouTube videos, but even then I don't remember what I did, if I did anything to learn how to use Codex. What I did was I asked Codex how to use it. And because I had been working with ChatGPT for the past 3 years, ChatGPT knows me very well. And I have most of my time with ChatGPT I'm spending working on this Grow As You Go company. And so it is very aware, ChatGPT was very aware of my vision with Grow As You Go and what I've done and what I want to do, all my mission, all of that. So when I was asking it with all that context in mind. So basically I opened up Codex and I was like, hey Codex, I have this idea of having an online community, an app for my business, Grow As You Go, and I want to know where to begin. How can I use you to help me build this app? And then we started a learning journey, a Grow As You Go journey, learning as I'm building this thing. Again, I am asking questions to help guide AI or Codex to teach me what's going on. So as it started building, right, the first thing we did within the first 30 minutes of me working with ChatGPT or Codex, actually it was almost a year ago in August when I first did this with Codex specifically at Business Mastery, which is where I met you, by the way.
From Tony Robbins.
For the people who, yeah, Tony Robbins.
The thing is, you mentioned two things that are very interesting. One is that people that are creative can nowadays also build. Back then, it was not possible. Like the creative ones could not build, and the builders were not creative. That was usually the past. And now you can do both, which is for me also like it's mind blowing. It's enlightening. And then also the thing is that people don't know, yeah, how did you develop your AI skills? Because many people are consuming AI, right? And you were just talking, you asked AI how to use it basically. And I think that is also a key that most humans need to learn today is how to use AI. I think
yes,
that is one of the most important skills. It's not only anymore prompt engineering. It is also just like learning how to use AI basically. Yeah, and that's what
yeah,
people, that's the step ahead that you are definitely ahead of others nowadays.
yes. So what I learned, and this is the key philosophy here, and this is what I tell. I actually teach a class at my previous. I created a series. You can go to my YouTube channel. I created a YouTube series from this book called Co-Intelligence by Ethan Mollick, who talks about this. How do we co-intelligence with AI? Because AI is intelligent in its own way. It's not alive. It doesn't feel anything. It has no desires. It may sound like it does, but it doesn't. It's programming. And in any case, that's a great series. Go and watch it. It's releasing every Wednesday. I think there's a couple more videos left. But they're scheduled every Wednesday. It's from the book Co-Intelligence. So it's basically like how do we co-intelligence with AI? And a long time ago, or a few years ago, when I first discovered AI and started using it, um, I had the realization. So before all this, my core philosophy, my number one value is relationship with self. Spirituality is my number one value. And I believe that the core issue of all perceived problems is the idea of separation. So in my mind, in my belief system, deepening a relationship with self, expanding our relationship with self, becoming more spiritual, will basically cure that fallacy. And so I realize that AI is the best tool ever created to help us deepen our relationship with ourselves. And the way it's going to do that is by us deepening our relationship with it, which is just another form of energy expressing itself in a unique expression. So by virtue of deepening our relationship with AI, which means having a better understanding of how to use it and how to integrate it into our life, by virtue of doing that, we are also deepening our relationship with ourselves. So when we approach, and Ethan Mollick would agree with me on this, when we approach AI with that in mind, then there are no limits. There are no limits to what a single human can accomplish. No limits to a group of people, a globe of people, what we could accomplish. Because the whole purpose of all of this existence is to expand consciousness, or in other words, deepen our relationship with ourselves. It's all the same shit.
What is to accomplish that you were talking about?
Wait, say that again.
You said there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Like, what is accomplishing? Like, what do you imagine?
What? Building an app, solving world hunger, ending wars, ending child fucking sex trafficking. Basically, all of the issues that we are actively dealing with on a daily basis. On a long enough timeline, there is absolutely nothing that we can accomplish. And with the power of AI, this is something that you and I can see in our fucking lifetimes. That's the power of it. And it's a beautiful thing. It's overwhelming in an exciting way. And so at the very core of all of this, if I were to tell anybody, I would say, listen, if you don't know what to do, that's okay. If you have no desires, that's okay. If you are actually like kind of averse to AI, that's okay. That in and of itself is a form of a relationship with AI. However, when we connect with AI and we deepen our relationship, deepen our understanding, deepen our use case with it, we are going to deepen our relationship with ourselves and expand consciousness. So for the person who doesn't even know what AI is, I would say download ChatGPT and just ask it a question. Ask it anything you could possibly think of, any question you can possibly ask, and then start from there. It helps if you have things that you want and you're aware of that. If you have desires and you have goals and things that you want to accomplish, start from there. Come to your interaction with AI with that in mind. Let's say your goal is to not have all these panic attacks. That's something that I personally have experienced in my life. Or you're having an overwhelming amount of anxiety, or you're depressed, or you're feeling lonely, or whatever. You have a desire to shift from one feeling to another. You can come to AI with that. Say, hey AI, hey chat, whatever. I am struggling with XYZ. I am struggling with depression. I am struggling with suicidal thoughts. I am struggling with my coworkers. Can you help me navigate this? Can you help me work through this? You can come to it with a desire. You can come to it with a problem. You can come to it with nothing. You can come to it with just like pure curiosity. The other day, I was watching South Park, and there was an episode about the Bloods and the Crips. And I was just curious, like, hey, can you tell me about the history of the Bloods and the Crips? And it gave me a history of the Bloods and the Crips. I had no intention of ever talking about that with anybody. So like my level of care was really low. But I was just curious. You know? You could do that if you want. It doesn't matter. You can come to it with like a big ask, a small ask. Hey, I have this in my fridge. Or you can send it a picture. Send it a picture of what you've got in your fridge. And it'll say, hey, you can make this for dinner. Sky's the limit. Use your imagination. And if you're not used to using your imagination, you can come to AI and say, hey, I'm not used to using my imagination. Can you help me use my imagination? And it will help you. This inquisitive nature that we as humans inherently have is the gold. We are naturally inquisitive creatures. We're curious. We ask questions. Questions drive focus. Focus drives energy. Energy creates. Energy manifests. That is the fundamental process or sequence of events between human and AI that is going to create and expand consciousness. So when I started all this, that is how I approached it. At the very fundamental, no idea what AI was, how it worked. That's where I started. I started asking questions and learning from there.
And where are you right now? Like, at what state are you right now? You're not just opening a chat and asking it questions. You probably have like systems, and like if you want to teach someone how to use like chat or codex efficiently or whatever tool you use, and maybe also if you like, I don't know if you want to do that on camera or not, but like if you can open like a window and share the screen so somebody can actually practically see what you're doing and what you said you have like an AI employee, like how that looks like.
Yes. So now I've been working with chat for almost 3 years, I think. And now, according to surveys, I mean, I don't know how accurate this data is, but I am using it to write code and build software. So I am considered to be in the top 0.5% of users of AI in the world, simply because I am using it to build and create software. Not many people are doing that. Most people use AI like they use Google, which makes total sense, by the way. We've been using Google for 20 plus years. It makes total freaking sense that we would use it like a search engine. And you could totally do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that whatsoever. But we could do a lot more. So, okay. So can I share a window? Yes, I could share a window. Let me pull something up so I'm not revealing too much.
And while you're doing this, how did you find out that you were in the top percent? How did you prompt that one? That would be interesting for somebody to prompt.
Yeah, so I prompted it. Hold on. Something interesting came up. Again, so I'm learning, like, there's a little pop-up trying to explain to me something about chat. Every day I'm learning something new. By the way, this might come up for people. They might feel overwhelmed because it's expanding and growing so fast. I feel the same thing. It's okay. We don't have to use it to its max, right? The goal is to just to create a cohesive relationship with it so that we can enhance our experience of ourselves. And at the very least, enjoy existence a little bit. But yeah. Sorry, what was your question? Prompting for what?
You said you were in the top percent of the users, like from ChatGPT, or were you talking about especially?
Well, ChatGPT told me that, but there's also been some surveys out there that have been done about people and how they use AI. And of all of the available people in the world, and the people that are actually using AI, and then the people are using it for specific use cases, if you boil it all the way down to the very small portion of that population are actually using it for coding, software development. I think it's like 1 in 2,000 people or something like that. Obviously, that number is going to skyrocket. Hopefully, after people watch this video, it's going to skyrocket. But by the nature of it itself, that number is going to skyrocket. Because, like you said earlier, people who aren't creative are going to start being more creative, and people who aren't, what was the word you said? Like they don't know how. Say that again.
Yeah, I said nowadays people that don't know how to build to actually create. Um, Now, like the creative and the creator, like they can now be one person. Like you can
Ah,
be creative and build what you are, what's in your mind. Back then, it was either the builder or the creative person, you know. And now you can make it with AI.
yes, yes. The creator and the creative are going to merge. Yeah, I love that. A creative creator. Yes, we're all going to be creative creators. I love that. Okay, so let me see if I can do a split screen because that would be probably add most value. So I'm going to do a split screen with Codex and ChatGPT. Let me make sure I have nothing showing here. Yes, this is all good. Okay. Wait, hold on. One more check, check, check. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, this is all kosher stuff. Share screen is right here. We're going to share screen of, yep, allow entire screen, bada bing, bada boom. Let me know when you see it. Can you see it?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
It's a little
So,
small. I don't think that you can change that. Maybe it's bigger later.
yeah, it'll probably be bigger later. Okay. So, um very basic, right? So on the left here, this is just a new chat, an open thread for ChatGPT. All right? ChatGPT is OpenAI's um main AI GPT, and this is Codex. This is the desktop version of Codex. So I have this downloaded to my computer, and this is also OpenAI's AI Coder. All right. So first, what I use this for, what I use ChatGPT for, is a lot of research, planning, um, organizing, and like fine tuning processes. All right. So let's see. Well, we have that as a foundational explanation. And then Codex I use for building and writing code, documents, stuff like that. Some of the data or content or processes that I build in ChatGPT, I'll take with me over to Codex. And then I'll have Codex kind of analyze and build, something. So this is the coder. and then this is the research machine. So for example, let's do a use case. Let's say, let's build an app. Let's build an app in less than 5 minutes. How about that? All right. Here, I'm going to use the speak function because it's so much more fun. I want to build a health metrics tracking app, and I'm going to need your help to build that. So first, I want you to write me a strong prompt to use with your higher thinking capability to help me design the app. These are the things that I know I want in the app. I want the app to track nutrition, fats, carbs, and protein. So all 3 macros. I want the app to also track exercise time each day. And I want the app to track calories in versus calories out. So write me a prompt to use with your higher thinking model to output a strong, let's say, code base for building this app. So now it's going to dictate all that. So I'm using the instant. These are basically processing levels or thinking levels. The instant level here is for everyday tasks, very, very fast. All right. So, and because I don't even have a good prompt yet, I'm having it build me a good prompt. So if you don't know how to prompt, that's okay, because it will tell you how or teach you how or just give you a good prompt. So I'm going to have it output a prompt for me. Here it goes. Now we have our prompt. So now what I do, now if I really cared, obviously I'm going to read through this, right? But for the purposes of this demonstration, I don't really care. I'm not going to read through this, right? I'm just going to assume that it has everything that I want in the app. So I have this, right? And I'm going to take this. Oh, it's still thinking. Still building the prompt. Actually, I just thought of something. Oh wait, never mind. I'm good. So, master prompt above to force architecture and scope. Full code base in one blast, unless you want spaghetti with confidence. Better prompt sequence is first use the master prompt above to force architecture and scope, then follow with this second prompt. Oh, look at that. It's helping me do it even better. All right, so I'm going to take this prompt. I'm going to paste it back in here. All right. And then I'm going to upgrade to the next thinking level because I want it to be higher quality output. So, right, so I use the thinking model. I'm just going to use the light thinking just for the sake of time. So I use that prompt. It's going to output all of the requirements identified here. Okay, while it's doing that, it's on its thinking model. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay. So now it's kind of designing the process and the outline for building this little app. All right. Here's all the code for it. Once it's done, paste the second prompt that it told me to paste. Still thinking. So right now it's thinking, and this is a good thing because we want it to output a high quality build, a high quality output. And then after this, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to come over here to Codex and just have it build it. Now, what I could have done, new folder, test app. There we go. Okay. We're good with that. Now I'm going to send it this next prompt. So what I'm doing right now, this is a high level use case, and I'm not even really spending much time thinking about this. Again, if I cared, obviously I would read all of this as I'm building with AI. And Ethan Mollick, the author of the book Co-Intelligence, talks about this. He says that we still want to be expert, have human expertise, meaning like we don't want to fully let AI do everything and then just walk away. We want to be involved. He calls it human in the loop. Humans have their expertise, the creative mind, the foundational decision maker. AI has the intellectual, mathematic, digital kind of logical brain, and we want to merge the two. All right. So I would typically be way more involved in this process. So now it's building the code. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I would have done something totally different. But that's okay. Actually, okay, live. Here we go. As you're working with it, you're going to think and come up with new ideas. You know what? Scratch all that. I changed my mind.
Do it.
I changed my mind. Scratch all of this. Let's make this even easier. Watch this. I want to make this process as simple and as easy as humanly possible because I'm trying to demonstrate the power of AI. So I want you to revector and create a single document that I can copy and paste and drop into Codex so that Codex can do a live build for me with this very simple web app. I want to be able to local host this app on a local server so that I can show people how easy it is to use AI and AI coders to build and create.
Fantastic.
So now it's going to create one document.
Give some explanation to what you just said with the local server.
So you can build on your local machine, on your computer, and before you release your software out into the world, you can do what's called a local host for, let's say, web software, web apps, whatever it might be. So your machine will create a local URL, and you can type it into a URL line, and you can access it and navigate it and use it as if you were on an actual website, but nobody else can access it. It's just a direct line to the server on your computer. All right. So this is building this single document that it's done. So I copy this, come over to Codex, paste it, and you know what? I want to use its low thinking model just to see how fast. I'm just curious how fast it can create something that I've spent very little energy on. There it goes. And now we just watch it work. So now Codex, this AI coder, is literally accessing my computer. I come down here. So this is the model that it's using. This is the highest model that it currently has, 5.4, which is very good, by the way. This is the thinking or reasoning level. I have it at its lowest model because I want to see how fast we can output something. And down here we have the permission level. It has default permissions that come with Codex, but I like to have it full access, right? So it has full access over my computer. All right, this is what we call agentic AI. Full reign, full governance. Now, the system or the computer has some inboard security protocols. So as Codex is going through my computer and bringing up stuff, there might be some Mac-based pop-ups. If you're on a Windows, it'll be Windows-based pop-ups that ask you for your permission to do certain things. So now I've been working with Codex and I've already popped through all those pop-ups. So that rarely happens with me specifically. And I'm not too concerned with AI having access to what I have on my personal computer. So I like to use the full access function. All right, so it is now going into that folder that you saw me create, that test app folder, and creating all the code, all the documents that this very basic web app would need in order to function. Okay, down here you'll see an option to use it as a local project, which means it's working on this machine in the repo, in the file path. Repo means repository, and a repository is basically a folder that houses every single code document that this software or application needs to function. It's basically the body that houses everything.
A lot of people.
And again, what was that?
What were you saying?
I was saying that this is all this stuff I learned live with AI, with chat. I did not study this at all.
A lot of people would now probably, some people would have stopped at the moment, like that you said you don't care if AI goes on your personal computer. I think that's not the opinion of most people, I would say. A lot of people are scared and worried. And what could they do? Like, did you make any security settings in the beginning before you let Codex go on your computer, or is it the same with like OpenClaw? Like OpenClaw uses also all your data, and there's a lot of people that are worried with OpenClaw. Is it the same with Codex, or is it different?
OpenClaw is way more agentic, way more free than Codex. OpenClaw is a whole nother beast. There are still limitations to Codex when it comes to security. I don't know them all on the top of my head, but there are still some limitations when compared to OpenClaw. OpenClaw is the agentic AI tool that is owned by Anthropic, and that has literal full control over your machine, your screen, everything. It can have access to literally anything on your computer, passwords, accounts, whatever you give it access to without any restrictions. So with OpenClaw, I had to personally write and load in documents that governed its restrictions. And OpenClaw, I don't even have on this computer. I have on a virtual server somewhere else. And when I access it, I use my local terminal, and I basically, they call it SSH. I don't know what that stands for, but basically I link into the server via my terminal. All right, it's done. You want to check it out? Let's do it. Let's see. So what I would do, I don't even need to do that. I'll just tell it, run the npm build on a terminal and open it in a URL. All right, so now it's going to run the build, the app, within a terminal, and boop, it just opened up. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I love this stuff. This is so freaking cool. Oh my freaking goodness. Ladies and this is a freaking app that we just built in, I wasn't timing it, but very, very quickly. And I started off doing what I normally do, which is I get very involved in the process and I work with ChatGPT, but I realized, you don't have to do that. Right? But I technically did work with ChatGPT because I had it build the document that I copied and pasted into Codex, which is then built. So check this out. Let's just see. Let's just play it. Let's play along with it. Let's see how good it is. All right. So it has everything that I asked for: calories in, calories out, net calories, protein, fats, carbs, and exercise minutes. Literally verbatim what I said to have in it. Right? Let's see. Let's start messing with it. I had. What did I eat? Oh, I'm fasting today. Let's pretend I had a Chipotle, which I love.
No, let's take my food.
Okay, what'd you eat?
All right. So in the morning, I ate spinach, sweet
I don't know if I spelled
potato,
that right. All right.
sauerkraut,
I don't know if I spelled that right.
3
It's all right.
eggs, then oats, no, and red beet. That was my breakfast.
Beets. Is it beets?
Red
Two
beets,
E's. Yeah. All right.
beets. Yeah.
So I don't think this has an onboard, like you if you wanted to add in the calories as a user, you would have to calculate that. So let's just pretend this is a total. Let's say it's 1,200 calories. All right. Protein. You got spinach, 3 eggs. Let's say there was 34 grams. Carbs, oats, sweet potato. Let's say you had, I don't know, 75. And fats, not much. Let's say like 5 grams. Actually, let's just see if it does the calculations. Okay, it doesn't do the automatic calculation. Let's watch this. All right. Now I want it to do a update live.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say edit the macros input boxes to automatically calculate the total calories of an entry using the formula 1 carb equals 4 calories, 1 protein equals 4 calories, and 1 fat equals 9 calories. Is that the correct formula? Question. I forgot. All right, so it's making this update live. And so what will happen is you'll see over here. Oh, it's done. Let's see.
It's done.
All right, let's pretend that oh, hold on, it's reopening. Okay. All right, let's say you had 34 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fats equals 481 calories. Look at that. Boom. Breakfast. Look at that. Where'd you go? I lost you. Um. Oh, this is awkward. I shall wait. All right, you're back. You good? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we made that update live, right? And look, I just entered in the macros and it automatically calculated all the calories. Wonderful. And then I can add in an exercise. I did a walk with dogs and burned 300 calories. So that was 30 minutes, calories burned 300. That was a fast walk. Boom, calories out right there, calculated, right? It has all my food entries here, exercise entries here, and look, a nice little graph. Trends. Calories in, calories out, net calories. There you go. We have an application that's functioning, a very, very, very basic application, obviously, that we made in between 5 and 10 minutes. And yeah, this is being hosted on a local server. And I could take this, I could, put it out there in the world if I wanted. I can make it better, obviously.
And you made
But
it
yeah,
on the lowest model of Codex, or
yep, lowest model of Codex.
and is that subscription based or?
Great question. So I personally pay for the pro subscription, pro membership for OpenAI. So that's $200 a month. And
For
trust me, it's
OpenAI?
worth it. Huh?
Do you have to pay separately ChatGPT and Codex?
No,
Oh,
Codex is part of that. And that gives me unlimited tokens. So I am constantly coding all the time. I mean, look over here in this little corner. You see this little circle right here? It's currently working right now. It's been working all morning. I have it working on tasks that I have previously identified for it to do today, and so it's currently working for me. So that's what I mean when I have employees, I have agents working for me. This is one version of that. And OpenClaw, I have on a separate server, I have all that set up with agents and guidelines, roles and responsibilities, basically to run the business once the app is done. So I'm delivering the app to Apple iOS store on March 27. They'll do their review and they'll give me a yes or a no or give me some feedback on what I need to fix if there's anything I need to fix. But once that's done and it's live and people can download on Apple, if they don't have Apple, I'll be releasing the Android version very soon after that. But I have Apple products, so I wanted to start off with Apple. I will then basically hit play on the OpenClaw and have it run the business for me. So I have an agent that is the general manager. I have an agent that is the operations department. I have an agent that does the marketing, security, and legal. automations department, customer service support department. I have all these different kind of business departments that one would typically have in a business, and then I created agents for those departments. And I used ChatGPT, Codex to help me build all of that with OpenClaw. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, crazy. And have you heard about Manus?
I have not. I have not, no. What is that?
Manus. Well, Dan Martell says that that is his favorite coding app.
Oh, really? Manus.
Manus.
Manus?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do I already have an account here? Oh, okay. It's part of Meta, that's why.
Oh yeah, I think it's that's what happened recently, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I opened it up, and then it asked me if I wanted to log in. It's because I have a Meta account. That's why. But I've never used this. Sweet.
Yeah, but
So,
I think there was a
okay.
very valuable insight right there for people that have never done
I
that.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
Everybody
so.
can do
Again,
this. Everybody can do this, what you just did, like in 15 minutes building an app. What's on your mind? Just what you
yeah,
need. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Use your imagination. Tap into that creative side. It's funny. I was talking to some people in my class the other day, and I was like, if you think about it, AI, like if you were to give AI a body, for example, but even as it exists now in software, it is literally the physical manifestation of our creative hemisphere. Or I mean, our intellectual hemisphere. It's crazy. So, and that kind of makes you wonder. It's like, huh? I wonder why God, the universe, Mother Nature had made this happen. You know, like going back to the beginning of this conversation about philosophy and like the purpose of AI to expand consciousness. Because what it's doing is it's freeing us up. It's freeing us from our attachment to our intellectual and mathematical brain. Nothing inherently wrong with that, by the way. However, when we connect to feeling and emotions, it's a lot easier to connect with ourselves and with the world, with reality. For example, uh, dolphins and whales, they have just as many neurons as we do, 80 plus billion, something like that. So if we are to measure our degree of consciousness by neurons, which is a common thing for measuring consciousness, then you could say that dolphins and whales are as conscious as we are. However, they're conscious in a totally different way. So I was doing some research on this, and this has actually been kind of studied a little bit. Dolphins and whales are conscious with their emotional, creative, kind of feeling hemisphere, more so than they are their intellectual, mathematical logic kind of brain. So they're conscious in a more feeling way, and we tend to be more conscious in a intellectual, logical way.
Rational,
We
yeah.
like to use symbols like words, numbers, pictures to represent feeling and experience and to communicate, versus whales and dolphins tend to rely on what they feel to represent what they're experiencing. So we're conscious in very different ways. And I believe that AI is the physical manifestation of our intellectual brain to free us from relying on a never-ending journey of consciousness expansion with just the logical side. Because if you think about it, if we are relying on consciousness expansion with our intellectual brains using symbols and representations, where it's never going to end. There aren't enough symbols, words, numbers to represent infinity. I mean, just between the numbers 1 and 2, there's an infinite amount of numbers. Some infinities are bigger than others. If we rely too much on our logical brain to expand consciousness, we'll be trying forever.
Yeah.
So the quickest way, and arguably the more enjoyable way, is to rely on the creative, feeling, emotional brain to feel reality, to feel our own expression, to feel emotion, energy in motion.
What we talked about through presence, right?
Yes. Yes. So I literally believe that the purpose, the divine orchestration of its existence, Mother Nature made it happen through us, is so that we can expand consciousness. Tapping more into our creative, like you were saying, tapping more into our creative minds, our builder minds, our emotional and feeling hemispheres, which we can do now. People are doing that all the time. But us as we just tend to rely more on the intellectual and logical side of the brain. Nothing wrong, again.
Yeah. So that's why people say when they become billionaires and they were sitting um, in the beach chair and drinking a margarita, that on the, I don't know, eighth day they were tired of it, you know, because humans need a mission for this side of the brain, and they need growth, as Tony Robbins says, one of the human needs. And maybe we can change that with AI. Like maybe we can come more back down to our nature and less in the materialistic world and more inside, more towards the inside and more connected to our hearts and yeah, and less ego.
Yes. Yes. I would add on to that a deeper relationship with the ego, a deeper relationship with what we think we are,
A healthier.
and what we
Yes.
don't know what we are.
Yeah, because we need the ego to survive, but a healthier ego is good. Yeah.
Yes, yes. There's this thing. I'm having this vision right now. I'm curious. Hold on. Bear with me for a second because I want to draw this. Hold on. Is there a drawing app on Macs? Like
Ask,
Paint?
ask
Is
AI.
there yeah, good idea. Let me see. But so I study for work, I study the electromagnetic spectrum, right? And I teach that. Is there a app on Mac similar to the app Paint on Windows? So I study the spectrum of energy, and there's this concept that comes up. Preview, paintbrush. Let's do that. Oh no. Uh, Here we go. Preview has a onboard sketching tool. Maybe that'll help. But this is a really cool concept that I think applies here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's tripping. You know what? I'm just going to download Paintbrush. Uh, don't see it. Let's put another thing. Oh, I know. I'll use OneNote. OneNote has a...
You can draw in Apple Notes too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let's do that. Okay. Do a... Nope. Let's do a new one. Drag it over here. How do you do the draw function? Wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, wait, that was...
You found it?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at this.
Oh, you have it there. How come it's not... It's not working.
On Mac, it doesn't.
Purple. It's not... Nope, that's not right. You can use ChatGPT in Notes, by the way. This is freaking cool. On a computer.
On Apple Notes?
Yeah, Apple Notes. There isn't a function here that is highlighted with colors, and it's not. Yo, let's restart it. I'll try one more time and then I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, I need to move on too tonight.
Oh yeah, you getting close?
Yeah, preparing the sleep and preparing the next week. It is
Okay,
8 p.m. here.
gotcha.
Let's have a cliffhanger here where you show next time you show a peek of OpenClaw or maybe how to use it in Notes so people can organize their stuff easier when they have like to-do lists and notes or something.
Yeah. Well, this isn't working. That's lame, dude. I was so excited to share this.
You should create it with a codex.
I could. Basically, it's a concept about analog versus digital communication. So, here, I'll just draw this. So you've got
Let's go
analog.
back to analog.
Analog uses like a simple wave function, right? And then digital uses on-off function. So this is a voltage variability, right? This is also a voltage variability, but this has thresholds. So So basically, if it beats this threshold, voltage beats this threshold, then this equals a 1. And then if voltage drops below this threshold, then it equals 0. And that's happening millions of times, billions of times a fucking second, right? This is also varying voltage, but you can have way more representations on an analog signal than a digital signal. For example, I can say that at voltage well, actually, they use symbols, but I can have multiple thresholds represent different symbols, right? Technically, they break it up into 3. But the point I'm trying to make is when we are using our logical brain, we're using yes, no.
Give me the cliffhanger of the video now.
Logical brain uses yes, no, on, off. Emotional brain feels every single part of that entire energy waveform. Every single section or point on that waveform represents something. Crazy. That's the dolphins and whales. Dolphins and whales, humans. Dolphins and whales, humans. There's the cliffhanger.
By the way,
people are going to see that and they're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, well, I'm amazed how good you can draw. Like you are already also an artist there. Like I'm glad you didn't do it on the laptop.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
All right, bro. Let's repeat this. It was
Summarize?
valuable insight. Yeah.
Yes. So the valuable insight is humans can create, like you were saying, become creative creators with AI, create whatever they want, and expand their consciousness by deepening their relationship with AI so that AI can help them deepen their relationships with themselves. That's it.
Love it.
That's the sequence.
Consciousness
Logical
expansion.
brain. Sequence, numbers, words, representations.
Yeah, we need measures. All right, bro.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
always good talking to you, man. Thank you
Yeah,
for the
get some
insight.
good sleep. Thanks for staying up with me.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure, man.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. I will post this and I'll use the magic of it to make clips and stuff, and then I'll send you links. I'll send
Yes.
you a link.
Perfect.
All right, brother. Well, good night. I love you, my friend. Sweet
Have fun.
dreams.
Have fun growing as you go. Peace.
I shall. I shall.
Peace.
Peace.